Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm very glad to have you join me once more. Okay, it's been a little while since I did a video review, but let's be honest, is it my fault or is it the market's fault? I'll let you decide. But we are going to be doing a review today, and it's going to be a really good one for you. We are going to be looking at Polygon, formerly known as Matic. First, if you could do me a really big favor, if you could just like and subscribe to the channel and share this with your friends. YouTube are actively suppressing crypto content, so if you can share it with everybody you can, it'll be great to get the word out about Polygon and Matic to as many people as possible. And also, before we get started, a warning. This is not financial advice. You should definitely do your own research. At the end of the day, it's all my opinion. Do some real research, maybe use this video as a starting point, but definitely look into this before you go spending all your hard-earned cash. With that said, let's get back to the video. Now, I actually talked about Polygon, or as it was known, Matic, back in around 2018. And back then, when the price was ridiculously low, we were talking about how amazing a project it was then. Well, have things changed? Well, yes, they've just got better. And we're going to talk about that in today's video. So in today's video, we're going to briefly cover what Polygon is. I'm going to tell you how it works. And then I'm going to explain to you all the reasons why I'm super bullish about this one and why I believe that Matic is going to be a top 5 coin this year. We'll look at the charts, and then I'm going to give you my insane price prediction for this one. Now, Polygon actually started life in 2017 as a project called Matic. It was rebranded recently to Polygon, and the reason for that is that they changed direction slightly, not with the actual purpose of the project, which is still to bring a layer 2 solution to Ethereum, but in its scope. Now, the co-founder of Matic, a guy called Sandeep Nailwal, sorry, I'm going to butcher your name. This guy, he's a bit of a genius when it comes to Ethereum, and has actually been involved in Ethereum along with his co-founders for quite some time. In fact, it was Sandeep who actually developed his own version or experimental version of plasma chains as a way to help Ethereum scale and to reduce transaction fees. So what is a plasma chain? Well, a plasma chain is a layer 2 solution for Ethereum. What it does is it actually takes transactions off of the base layer and allows those transactions to happen on a different chain, which we call a child chain. Now, with a plasma chain, the child chain can actually have as many of its own child chains as it wants to. And therefore, you can continue to actually scale out the solution as much as you want to. The advantages of doing something like this is that you get faster, cheaper transaction fees because they're not all being done on Ethereum. But the actual downside to it is that actually the time it takes to get your transactions on and off the child chain and back onto the Ethereum base layer can actually take quite some time. So you do have those long wait times when you're going on and off the main chain. And then on top of that, with a plasma chain, you can't actually scale your smart contracts to operate on them either, which means that you can't be sort of scaling decentralized dApps on the actual ecosystem. And therefore, the plasma chain is quite limited in that it only really works for transactions. So soon after Matic was developed, there was actually a lot of other protocols that came out and a lot of other layer 2 solutions. Alternatives included channels, side chains, ZK rollups, as well as optimistic rollups. And it was at this point that Matic realized that this space was going to just get bigger and bigger. They rebranded then as Polygon and decided that they were going to become a platform for all types of actual layer 2 solutions. And they decided at that point they were going to actually become a multi-chain framework, which would actually have the ability for developers to use pretty much any type of layer 2 style solution they wanted. So now with Polygon, you can actually build any layer 2 type chain using ZK rollups, optimistic rollups. You can do sidechains and more. So they've now become this framework that allows for so much more to happen. And to be honest, this makes complete business sense. Right now, we're looking at several different platforms that are trying to figure out the way to make Ethereum layer 2 solutions scale up and cheap and work really well. And there's a lot of competition between them. Nobody is entirely sure which type is going to win. Now, a lot of people have said Polygon are going to win, but other people are saying that optimistic rollups are going to win. Well, here's the thing. Polygon are able to do all of those things on their framework. So who's going to win? I can't guarantee it, but if you've got a framework like Polygon where you could do it all, and you're a developer, where are you going to go? The best way to describe what Polygon are doing is to basically describe it a bit like Cosmos, or actually even Polkadot, where you have this multi-chain framework that can actually have all sorts of things being built on top of it, with though the added security that comes from it being attached to Ethereum. So what does this mean for Ethereum users? Well, it means that if your favorite dApp gets deployed on Polygon, you could be looking up to 65,000 transactions per second, with block times that are under 2 seconds each, and fees that you pay in Matic that are incredibly low. Now, Matic actually operates on a proof of stake model, which is what also adds to its speed. So Polygon is actually built on 4 layers. You have the Ethereum layer, which is obviously the Ethereum base layer. Now, every Polygon chain actually relies upon Ethereum for security, as well as consensus and then final settlement. Then below that you have the security layer. This is where we have validator management as well as chain validation. After that you then have the Polygon networks layer. This is where you have those interoperable sovereign blockchains all actually working on the framework. And finally, you have the execution layer. This layer is where the on-chain and off-chain smart contracts are all hosted. Now, as I said earlier on, the team behind it are super experienced and they've had a lot of involvement in Ethereum. They're very well respected in the industry. They actually helped to develop Plasma, as I said, but they also helped to actually create the Wallet Connect integration into Ethereum as well. So they've been involved in the space for a long time, and they've actually made some very strong contributions to the network before they decided that they were going to develop this layer 2 solution. So right now there are over 4.8 billion Matic tokens that are in circulation, with a total of 10 billion to actually be released by 2022. So with that out of the way, why am I so bullish about Matic? What is it about it? What are they doing that's making me excited about this? Why can I see it being a top 5 coin by the end of this year? So of course I do sometimes like to mention how I work in the industry. I'm not just a guy on YouTube. I am working in the blockchain and crypto industry. So I do get to hear about what people are after. Like I said, everyone seems to be talking about Polygon. I'm hearing it from institutional investors. I'm hearing it from DeFi funds. We're hearing it from actual developers porting their projects over to it. It's almost as if Matic and Polygon have already won the layer 2 solution war. First up, you've got Balancer as a great example. They've just actually went live on Polygon this week just gone, and they're actually already doing really well and started up a $10 million initiative to really get things going. Balancer is of course a leading DeFi protocol, and it's just one of many that are actually over on Polygon now, and one of many to come. Now Polygon is actually also developing another chain which they're calling Avail. Now Avail is actually going to be a big data chain that's able to provide data to standalone chains in their ecosystem, which actually means that you'll be able to start developing your own blockchain on the Polygon network and the framework there, without having to go to Ethereum to collect data and to get data into your smart contracts and things like that. And that's going to reduce your fees by quite a significant amount, and of course speed up the processes for you as well. Because like I said, when you're taking any sort of data, when you're taking any transactions off of a layer 1 Ethereum over to layer 2 solutions, usually there is a period of time that you have to wait for the transactions to go between them. This obviously means that you will not have to rely on those chains on the main layer, and it means you're not going to pay those fees or wait that time. It's going to be guaranteed data for the standalone chains that are being built directly on Polygon. Now for me though, I think that the biggest development that they've got going on with Polygon is actually a project called DexKit. DexKit is effectively going to be a one-stop shop for DeFi. There's going to be a DEX aggregator, somewhere you can go and get all the best prices for different tokens, and it's going to show you the different actual DEXs, and it will help you find which one is the cheapest one to actually buy from or to sell on. where you're going to get the best price, I should say, for selling them. So you've got that there. That's going to be making a big difference. You know, it's going to be a bit like what you can do with MetaMask now, where you just find the token you want and it tells you where the best DEX is to go to. They're going to have that on Polygon, so it's going to be super fast. You've then got an NFT Marketplace. There'll be a professional exchange and also a dashboard, a professional dashboard for asset management. Now, all that sounds great for the users. It's going to be user-friendly, obviously. It's going to make trading cheaper, and it's going to make it easier to get into DeFi, something that obviously on the Ethereum layer 1 can be cost prohibitive for a lot of normal individuals and retail traders. But it's not even that that's making me so excited about DexKit. It's actually their white label services. So with the DexKit, you're going to be able to actually pay them to basically give you the back-end software to create your own NFT marketplace, for example. You'll be able to actually use their NFT marketplace and create your own storefront, for example. If you want to run your own DEX, well, you can actually white label their solution and run your own DEX on the platform as well. As long as that wider market allows it, then we should see Matic's price soar this year. In fact, I believe so strongly in it, and I believe with it being a layer 2 solution for Ethereum specifically, I think Matic could actually end up in the top 5 by the end of this year. On the charts right now, what we really need Matic to do is to defend that $1 level. As you can see, it's still well above that 200-day moving average, but still below that 50-day EMA. Now, if we can regain momentum soon, it would be able to avoid a death cross on those moving averages. We don't want it to see a death cross because obviously that does put this $1 level at risk. If we see the death cross, it's quite possible that it will come down and will slow things down for Matic. Not massively, but it will obviously slow it down while we wait for a proper breakout in the market. My hope is, though, if we look at it, we draw in the trend lines right now, with the support here and then this resistance line, we could be looking at a breakout within 1 to 2 weeks. As long as we don't see the price break down from here and we hold that $1 level, we will be looking at a good breakout for this price, and I will be targeting $2.75 for it. After that, what will my price target be? Well, it really will depend on whether we resume that bull run, and there's no guarantee, of course, that it will happen, but I'm pretty certain that the bull run's not over. And with the bull run back into play, well, where can I see Matic? I definitely see this being a top 5 coin, and here's my reasoning for it. We keep talking about Ethereum possibly flipping Bitcoin. It is a very, very real possibility that Ethereum does very well and actually takes the top of the market. If that happens, well, we're going to need those layer 2 solutions. And right now, out of all of the layer 2 solutions available, which one is actually operational? Which one has actually got real world dApps on it right now? It is, of course, Polygon, which means it's going to be brought up by the fact that it has utility, and a top 5 position for it is actually very possible in my thinking. So what would that mean for its price? If you get it up into the top 5, and I think it can happen in this bull run, you're looking at a $10 to $15 Matic. Now that, to me, is a pretty great return on a coin that at the moment is just going for a little over $1 each. So I'm pretty bullish on it, of course. What about long term then, James? Well, I am actually saying long term, Matic, as long as it keeps its place as the top kind of protocol for the layer 2 solutions, I think that this is a $40 to $50 coin in the future. I'm not talking about this year, but during the next sort of 5 years, maybe a little longer, depends how long our cycles last this time around. It's going to be $40 to $50 per token. So I am saying that Matic is probably a very good long-term hold. And if you don't want to do long-term, you only have to wait for this bull run to kick back in, because I do honestly think $10 to $15 is a possibility on this one. So what do you make of my crazy price prediction? I know it is quite a lot to take in. $40 to $50 per Matic. That's a big market cap, but remember, this is a market that's going to keep growing. Ethereum is going to get more and more utilization, and Matic along with it. I do think that we are in for some exciting times ahead. With the party is not over. Let me know what you think though. What's your price prediction for Matic? Am I being far too excessive in my kind of predictions? Or am I even being conservative? Do you think it's going to go higher? Let me know down below. Please also do me one last massive favour. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course hit that notification bell to be kept up to date with all the latest videos. And make sure you join me on my live streams, because I will be doing charts for people on the lives, and you can have an update on Matic whenever you want it. You just have to get on the live stream and ask me for it, and I'll do it there and then. Alright guys, please do make sure you do that. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!